Hello, welcome to part 3 of learning the Nix programming language with me. Idea is that we use public documentation so that you can follow along, and we do them in short sessions so that you can kind of see, so it doesn't take a lot of attention. And if you're interested in a specific part of the documentation, you can look for the corresponding episode video that talks over that in case you have any problems with it. And if you follow along with me, do the same thing, then you'll learn the language too. I don't know anything about the language that I'm learning. That's the idea. So you're learning with me. So hopefully that's helpful. And all the previous videos for this Nix language are listed in the description. If you have any questions, you can join the Discord server and feel free to ask me. So for today, I think we'll just finish off names and values. We got string interpolation, file system paths, and indented strings. Should be pretty short. Right after that, we'll go into functions, and I think that's where the fun begins. So let's see what's going on. String interpolation. Okay, this looks very similar to other languages I've seen. Previously known as anti-quotation. I've never heard of anti-quotation before, but makes sense that they changed the name because that sounds like a terrible feature name. Yeah. All right. The value of a Nix expression can be inserted into a character string with the $sign and braces. Just like that. Example, let name equals Nix in hello name. All right, so let's do that. So just like I suggest all the time, look at the example. Now we go into our editor and try typing it yourself. It'll help you remember all the things we've learned in the past because we're making use of let and syntax for assignments. Let name equals, I'll put my name in there. And there's a semicolon after every assignment. And we're going to return hello. And then $sign, and I think it was brace, right? And then we put in the name. I think that's it. Let's try running it. I think that's Nix instantiate. I knew it was in something. Nix instantiate minus eval. And it should use default.nix by default. And it says hello Elise. Perfect. I assume we can put in another thing in here like and everyone else. Right, semicolon afterwards. Hello name. And oops, that's not going to look good. Let's fix that. Okay. Let's see. I assume that will work. Hello, Elise, and everyone else. Perfect. Now remember, we also had attribute sets that we learned about. Let's see if we can figure this out here. Now this should fail because A isn't, name and others is not available, right? Oh, it's expecting a semicolon. I forgot that we need to put a semicolon here. Okay, now it says I don't know name. So how would we fix this? We would put a dot, right? Let's see how this works. And now it works again. So didn't we learn something else, right? Bringing something down. We learned with and inherit. So if I use with, then it's going to bring the A down in here. So let's try that. So it's like with, and I think it was like this, and maybe a semicolon. And then I think we can just do name and others. Is that right? We didn't do it this way exactly. Yeah, see? So we're actually learning stuff, guys. Isn't that perfect? And inherit would basically would just bring stuff down. No, we don't. Inherit isn't really useful here because, like, we could inherit into an attribute set here, but that really wouldn't help us make this string. Anyway, looks like we're learning something. We're making use of it. All right, let's go on. Only character strings or values that can be represented as character strings are allowed. Counterexample, numbers aren't allowed. So if I just change my name, let's do that. So let's change our name to the number, a number, and see what happens. So now this should fail. Cannot coerce an integer to a string. Makes sense. So they said the same thing. Interpolated expressions can be arbitrarily nested. So we're going to have to figure out eventually how we convert things into strings, like numbers. It's going to be very important, right? This can become hard to read, and we recommend to avoid it in practice. Example. Oh, I see. You have these things within strings. This is just going to give me a headache, so I'm not going to type it. Like, I get the idea that you can basically have a string within a string. Yeah, that sounds like a mess. So this is it's going to replace a. Oh, I don't really understand what's going on here because it says a plus. So how is it actually parsing this? A plus. A plus. I don't understand that. Are we saying that we're allowed to do something like we don't have to close this? I can just do, this is open string a plus, and then they have a plus. They don't close it, right? And then they open, oh no, I'm just being silly. This is the string. No, I don't understand this at all. All right, let's just copy this because I'm not getting it. Oh, I don't have, all right, what is going on here? Let's run it. It says no, no, no. So this, is this string here the end of this string? I don't think so, right? Because if I, whoops, I won't do that. This string here, if I close this is illegal, right? It's one string. It's going, it's multi-line string here. So I have open A plus. I really don't get this. There's a space here. plus operators are important here. Oh, the plus is an operator, isn't it? I bet it's an operator. Did they tell us it was an operator? Did we ever learn that it was an operator? I mean, it's green. So I should have known, right? Okay, so what's happening here now? Now we know what's going on. So this is the string, and then we're still within the interpolated string, but this is the operator plus, and now we're starting a new string here, and then it uses the interpolated A, and here's the operator, concatenate, and then we pass it another string. So basically, we're nesting 3 of these strings together. If they had just said that this plus was an operator, then I think this would have been a lot easier to understand. Right. Maybe they did tell us something here. I guess, like, it's even more complicated here because they gave us a plus here. And the plus here is not an operator. This is simply the plus sign. So we won't complain. This is the reason why we're learning together. Warning, you may encounter strings that use the $sign before an assigned name, but no braces. These are not interpolated strings, but usually denote variables in a shell script. In such cases, the use of names from the surrounding Nix expression is a coincidence. So yeah, like this is an interpolated value, so it's going to say Nix here. Oh, but this is not an interpolated value. It's just $out, and that's going to be used within the shell script. So, I mean, like, they're basically saying that these $A things without braces is just going to do $A, right? So we get $A, and if we add the brace, then then it works. All right. File system paths. Here we go. So we're done with string interpolation. I don't think there's any other things I can think of playing around with for it. Yeah. The Nix language offers convenience syntax for file system paths. Absolute paths always start with slash. For example, absolute path, absolute path. All right, let's use REPL for this. Is it just like this? Yeah. And then so we do absolute path. Okay, that doesn't work. What the hell? Paths are relative. So why didn't this work? Oh, it has a sales. There we go, right? Okay, so cool. It doesn't like it when the path has a slash at the end. I guess because it doesn't want to. I no idea why. Paths are relative when they contain at least one slash, but do not start with one. Okay, they evaluate to the path relative to the file containing the expression. So wherever we're running it, right? So we'll see here that where am I? I'm in home NixOS projects Nix. So if I now go back to REPL, oh, whoops, I did. And I start it with something else like foo dot my files. Then it prepends my current directory, which is home NixOS projects nix, and then it adds the foo my files, so it's relative. And I assume maybe dot works the same way. Yeah. And you can probably go back a directory with this way. Yeah. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Right, so they use a dot, and dot in Unix is current directory. So that's what it printed out for us here. As you can see, my files. That's my current directory with my files added to it. And another example, relative path, and we did one of those also, foo my files, where it took my current directory and added foo my files to it. One dot denotes the current directory. You will often see the expression which specifies a Nix files directory. Dot slash dot. And the reason why they do that is because you can't end in a slash like we learned, right? It doesn't like the slash at the end. So you kind of have to do dot to, you need to use dot to say current directory, but you have to have something beforehand. And the only way to do that is to do dot slash dot. I mean, you could no, you can't. All right. Two dots denote the parents directory. Okay, so if we just want the parents directory, we have to do this. Remember, because we can't do that, so we need to put a dot at the end, and that means go up one. And see, I mean, we could probably do this too. Yeah, it doesn't matter which comes first, right? It just, you need something. Paths can be used in interpolated expressions. Oh, that's cool. Should we try that before we're supposed to? And here we just do like, yeah, there we go. So it took the current directory, which is project Nix, and added a subdirectory to it. And so that's how, we don't really, I guess we don't, what if we added a string in here? I assume that will still work? No, it doesn't work. We just do it this way. But we can continue, and then end it with foo, and then we'll have Nix subdirectory, which it got from the variable up there, and foo. And obviously this could be a attribute set. I think maybe that's something you can try on your own, and if you can't do it, let me know. And then you can even, I think you can use with. Should we try that? All right, we'll try that. All right, so subdirectory equals subdirectory. I think that's legit. So now we have an attribute set A, and it has a key subdirectory and a value subdir. And now, if I try to just use A, this shouldn't work. Right? Okay, but we can do A.subdir, right? Yeah. And now, if we want to use with, I think we should be able to do with A, semicolon, and now just do subdir, right? Yay! All right. See, it's good to put everything together. Let's move on. Where were we? Lookup paths. Okay, we're done with the file system stuff. Lookup paths, known also as angle bracket syntax. Okay, so whenever we see these things, it's angle bracket syntax. And we'll try running that here. Let's just put it in here. And we'll run this. So nix var nix profiles per user root channels nix OS. So that's where my nix packages are, I guess. Oh crap. Oh wow, that's exactly where mine is. So I guess they're running in nix OS also. Oh, it's not exactly the same. Nix var nix profile per user. Nix var nix profiles per user. Root channels nix OS. Root channel. Oh. Channels nix OS, whereas this says nix packages. Interesting difference. The value of a lookup path is a file system path that depends on the value of built-ins.nix path. In practice, nix packages points to the file system path of some revisions of nix packages. For examples, nix packages lib points to the subdirectory lib of that file system path. Alright, so we can just add libs. Was it libs or lib? Lib. I cannot type. Alright, so now it added the libs to the directory. While you will encounter many such examples, we recommend to avoid lookup paths in production code as they are impurities, which are not reproducible. So it's funny, they let you do it, but it's bad. Impurities. I kind of want to click on this. What are impurities? Pure expressions versus impure. Sounds like eugenics. All right, let's just finish this off. Where were we? All right, here we go. Indented strings, also known as multi-line strings. The Nix language offers convenience syntax for character strings which span multiple lines that have common indentation. Indented strings are denotated by double single quotes. All right. So we can just make something. And now when I run this, oh, I see it. It adds the new line to it. The \n is a new line. So that's what it sees here. And I assume we can use this within like a let. Alright, so what I have here is I just have my normal multi-line. I have my variable. I assign it to this multi-line thing. And then I'm going to use it in here. Nothing special, right? It's just like a whole lot of writing for nothing right as of now. Oh, right. Because whenever we assign, we need a semicolon. I'm still not used to that. Alright, so now that worked. And I assume we can even, it's a string, so we can do string interpolation with it. Here is a multi-line string. And then we put it in braces. Unexpected end of file. Oh, you see, like, my editor added an extra quotation mark. There we go. Here's a multi-line string. This is a multi-line string. Perfect. And I wonder what happens if I indent this. Is it going to, like, add spaces in my string? Oh, it doesn't. That's what it means. So it's basically going to trim all the new lines so that doesn't have the indentation. That's pretty cool. Here we go. Equal amounts of prepended white spaces are trimmed from the result. Oh, it's equal. So if one of these is further, then it's going to be, yeah, it added it right here where it says multiple, a multiple. All right, perfect. Interesting. All right, so we're going to stop here. Please do subscribe and like if you found it useful. We're going to be doing functions next. And if anything was confusing, please enter it in the comments or join the Discord server and let us know. Okay, thanks. Bye.